My name is Wayne Soutter, based in London, and my role at AWS is to support local government and cities to implement solutions that benefit their citizens. Since Amazon opened its virtual doors in 1995, the retail business Amazon.com has had the single-minded goal to be Earth's most customer-centric company. And that early day goal is still 15 years later our core focus within AWS. With our key leadership principle to be customer-obsessed, everything we do revolves around that principle in a very real way. When working with cities, we recognize that a city too has a customer that they are in turn obsessed with, and that's the citizen. Every decision a city takes is designed to benefit or enrich their citizens' life in some way. Whether that's to bring in new business, attract talent to the area, reduce crime, or become a tourist destination, it's all driven with that end customer, the citizen, in mind. We are also really aware that cities have a large number of challenges, including siloed data, vendor data lock-in, how to get the data from standalone data, trying to attract and retain the kind of data skills into the business, trying to work out what to do with open data within their communities. And an average size city does this by managing over 500 different data sets. Not only that, the cities need to be able to use those data sets to deliver over 1,000 different services. This is incredibly complex to manage. I often challenge my commercial counterparts to say, show me one commercial organization that has more than 1,000 different services or products. It's really complex, and cities across the globe manage to seamlessly deliver these services day in and day out really effectively. At AWS, we are deeply passionate about working with and empowering cities to own and control their data, to leverage the latest technologies and innovate at a faster clip to benefit their citizens, which is why we created the City on a Cloud competition, in order to recognize and acknowledge the leaders in public sector who are shaping society today. The 2020 City on the Cloud competition was run by AWS and Intel, working together to provide a platform for openly sharing innovative solutions with other public sector organizations around the globe, inspiring and enabling them to adopt these technologies. Since 2014, we've rewarded those who've positively impacted our communities through the City on the Cloud competition. By doing this, through different categories, we've helped bring to life these amazingly transformational projects. We had a huge range of entries this year, including governments, non-profits, education, healthcare, AWS partners, startups, and ISVs. All of these organizations are developing innovative solutions that are positively impacting our communities. We are fortunate to be able to have the experience of a fantastic panel of judges from across the globe, including Theo Blackwell from London, Open Agile Smart Cities from Belgium, the Asian Development Bank, and we're lucky enough to have Ann Mun from Hack from Earth in Sweden to join us today to discuss some of these winners. Welcome, Ann, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today. If you could take a few moments, tell us about yourself and tell us about the amazing work you're doing at Hack for Earth.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be with you today at Amazon Web Services and this panel debate. So my name is Ann Mun, and I am the founder and the Secretary General of the Hack for Earth Foundation. And the mission for the Hack for Earth Foundation is to create citizen-driven innovation, basically by inviting everyone all around the world to be able to be part of the hackathons that we organize. And the upcoming project that we're doing is the Hack for Earth Hackathon, a global online hackathon at an upcoming World Exhibition Expo 2020 opening in Dubai this fall. So really our mission is creating sustainable tech solutions that will provide value for people all around the world.
And the work you're doing at Hack for Earth, it's very much focused around that sustainability piece?
Yes, definitely. The UN Sustainable Development Goals are at the core at everything we do. So actually to really get the best challenges for our upcoming Hack for Earth Hackathon this fall, we are launching the Dream for Earth campaign, which will collect the dreams of people all over the world connected to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. what are people dreaming about in Chile or Asia or Africa or Sweden. And then getting all those dreams connected to what the world will look like in the year 2045, we will create the challenges that people will be working on in the hackathon. So this is our way of really inviting everyone who has a passion of creating the change that we need to see in the future and want to be part of that change to really create these solutions together with us.
Oh, and that sounds absolutely fantastic, and critical to kind of everything that kind of happens on kind of in the whole world. It sounds like those programs you're running are really kind of fundamental as to figuring out some of those bigger kind of social challenges. If someone wants to hear more about it, how can they get hold of you?
You can always look up the hackforearthfoundation.com website. And of course, everybody is free to follow me on LinkedIn or any other social media. I'm mostly on LinkedIn, and also Hack for Earth is on LinkedIn too. So follow us there. And of course, we're looking for great, passionate people who can join the hackathon. And you don't have to be a programmer, even though we welcome them, of course, and the developers and all those really techie people. But all the others who have just a passion for creating change and being part of the real solutions that we need are also welcome. So feel free to do that. And we will get back to how you sign up for the hackathon later this spring.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic. Well, I can't wait to watch that with great interest. But today we are here to talk about this City on the Cloud competition, of which you were incredibly kind to be one of the amazing judges that we had. So, kind of thinking about some of those entries, I know you went through a huge number of those submissions. But so, what, in your opinion, looking at some of those submissions, what specifically were you looking for? And, what were the ideas that you personally kind of stood out for you personally?
I think this is a very special time, of course, of having this kind of competition, because in a time like this, with the corona pandemic going on for the past year, it brings out one positive aspect within people and innovators. And it's like, I would kind of sum it up like somebody else has said before: never waste a good crisis. And of course, that sounds horrible in one way, but really what it focuses on is that the crisis really pushes us as humans to create the solutions that we really need to get through the crisis, and also to create solutions to problems that were there before, but maybe didn't feel as have the sense of urgency that they do now. So that's why I was really excited to be part of this panel right now, this year around, because I was so anticipating for the solutions and to see what the teams were coming up with. And I'm just in awe. I just have to say, all the solutions that came through, and really there were some seriously great solutions, and not all of them could win, of course. But just the variety and the ingenuity of the solutions and the teams behind them, and really the passion that they exuded of really creating change for many people. So really what I was looking for was really breakthrough, disruptive solutions that could really make a change and have an impact for the many. That was really in my head. And so, there were so many of them. So it was really difficult to choose. Very difficult.
I can imagine. That is fantastic. Yeah, I completely agree. We've really seen organizations that maybe in the past were quite struggled to make decisions. In the last year they were just doing things at unprecedented pace. So it really has made such a difference. And I think a lot of the winners we're going to be talking about today, I think their solutions, a lot of their solutions have evolved because of the kind of crisis. So yeah, it's really interesting how that's impacted it. And so I'm interested to know, kind of as a judge, how did you find the kind of City on the Cloud experience? Was kind of judging, was it challenging? You say there were quite a lot of kind of really good solutions. So, was that challenging? And also doing it remotely, that's quite odd too. How did you find that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the amount of solutions that I had to go through, of course, was amazing to take part of so many, but also quite challenging, because you have to, of course, give every solutions the right amount of time and effort, and really decide. And after organizing both online hackathons and in real life hackathons, I really value the possibility as a judge to be able to discuss with the other judges, and that was not a possibility now. You had to do all the judging on your own. So, but of course, that maybe that will made it better because I was not influenced by what someone else thinks. Maybe that resulted in that, but I would have thought it was a good thing to be able to talk it over sometimes, because even though you have your own opinion, it's also good to have somebody else's perspective, and that was not a possibility now, of course, with the Corona crisis. On the other hand, maybe this gave the competition another flavor and another depth. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I can see how that had a kind of I can see that would have some interesting kind of positive impacts in terms of their assessment. Fantastic. And the last question: were there any particular themes that stood out with you in terms of the submissions? Were there kind of patterns that you saw in kind of working through the different submissions?
For me, I was taken by the what do you call it, the aim or the grasp of many of the solutions, that they had such a passion or an ambition for creating solutions that were really taking on such big issues, and that really impressed me. That they had done the solutions and also created working solutions within such a short frame of time. That was extremely impressive, and with a very little, what do you call it? A shortage of resources. With not many resources, they had created some serious impact within a short time frame, and you really could feel the passion from the creators coming through in many of the solutions, and that really touched me, I really have to say. And maybe it's a part of the Corona crisis as well. Then never waste a good crisis kind of passion that you get. I organized the Hack the Crisis Sweden online hackathon last year. And that's the feeling there when we had 7,500 participants joining during a weekend. And with this Corona coming in and everybody's really, it creates a feeling within people that you really have to push it to the most, to really give it your all and help out. And that feeling is not a bad thing. The crisis is bad, but what it creates in people, this feeling of that we're in it together and we really have to pull through and help each other out and go that extra mile to create the solutions that we need. I really feel that was what shone through in this year's Amazon Web Services, the City on the Cloud Challenge as well. And that was amazing to take part of that.
Fantastic. Those are wonderful insights. I absolutely love that. Thank you. Right. So, Anne, if you're ready, let's talk to some of those winners.
Yes, let's do that, please.
So before I introduce them, let me quickly explain the award categories. There were 4 award categories, but the two we focused on today are the AWS Quality of Life Award. In this category, we were looking for the public sector leaders who are helping their community adapt and build resiliency, whether it's digital government, education, justice and public safety, healthcare, charities, non-profit. So much incredible work has been done keeping these services functioning across the world. The other category was AWS Game Changers Award. When powered by modern technology, bold ideas can make a big impact on communities. With this award, we're looking for great ideas that you would like to implement in your city. So now to the important bit, the winners. It's great to have two winners join us today from almost the opposite sides of the world. We have Prekelt from South Africa, who won the AWS Quality of Life Award, and we've got Debbie Rogers joining us from Prekelt, and we have Griffiquo from Singapore, who won the AWS Game Changers Award, where we have SeokMei joining us there. But Debbie, let's start with you and Prekelt. So, if you could just take a minute to introduce yourself and tell us about your business and your winning idea.
Thanks. So my name is Debbie Rogers, as you said. I'm the managing director of Prekelt.org, and we are founded and based in South Africa, and myself, I'm in Johannesburg. So Prekelt.org uses really simple technology, things that you use every day, such as SMS, USSD, and IP messaging like WhatsApp, to improve health and health systems all over the world. The way we do this is to ensure that there's communication channels between patients, health workers, and health systems so that patients are informed and empowered, health workers are motivated and supported, and health systems have the right information to make decisions about improving the health system itself.
Neat. So what was the problem that you were trying to solve in kind of industry?
So in March last year, 2020, we had obviously the onset of COVID-19 worldwide, the thing that changed all of our lives. And we realized that we were uniquely positioned to be able to help support governments and other organizations to address the really big problem of a lack of information and misinformation. At the time, everybody was inundated with rumors and things that they didn't know whether they could trust or not. There was very little direct communication channels that were easily accessible to citizens all over the world, where governments could communicate the up-to-date and accurate information. And so we set up a very simple service called Health Alert, which is a WhatsApp chatbot, which allowed the South African government to provide information to citizens on a national scale within 2 weeks of the COVID-19 cases starting in South Africa. Very soon after that, the World Health Organization adopted the same platform as a global communication platform. And since then, we've rolled out in 11 countries and 26 languages to help support governments in Africa and Southeast Asia. We've reached about 22 million people, sent 600 million messages, and the service is available in 26 languages.
That's absolutely amazing. That's that pace of innovation to reach those many countries, 21 million people, in that kind of time frame. That's absolutely incredible.
Thanks.
Very neat. So when you were setting it up, I mean, who did you? Was it the kind of health services that you approached? How did you kind of approach the governments to talk to them about your solution?
We were very lucky that we've already had a long established relationship with the Department of Health in South Africa, where we've been doing national scale maternal health programs. And so it was very quick for us to be able to call up the team there and ask how we could help. We were also extremely lucky that we had a number of partners such as WhatsApp, mobile network operators in South Africa, and various other supporting partners who jumped in really to help with the cause. So the connections that we've built over years really allowed us to start this initiative. And once the World Health Organization took this service up, we then were inundated with governments from all over the world approaching us to see how quickly we could possibly help them with this service.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. In terms of the kind of benefits of the solution, I think one of the key ones is consistent messaging, and I absolutely love that because, as you said, there were lots of rumors, around it. But it seems that this was a great way for the kind of various governments that you were doing to really kind of speak directly to the end citizens. How did the citizens experience it? Did you have feedback from kind of people in South Africa?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we firstly had massive adoption. Before I knew it, the president was talking about the application. The news channels had it on ticker tapes. We even found that a well-known a bread brand in South Africa had added it to their packaging. So I think it was clear that there was a need for that information. In South Africa alone, we've had 8 million people, or approximately 20% of the population, engaged with this service, and wonderful feedback. Of course, also feedback that's helped us improve, doing things like adding additional languages to the service, other information that people have indicated they would like to know but don't yet know. And so it's been good to be able to have that feedback as well to continually improve the service.
That's amazing. And the pace of innovation, your ability to kind of work that quickly in a matter of weeks to have a solution up and running. I mean, how did the cloud play into that? Were there kind of benefits of being able to use the cloud to speed up that development?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not only did we have to very quickly be able to spin up an instance of the service in multiple countries, but also we didn't anticipate the demand for the service. And so being able to scale up the capability of the hosting, be able to be available all hours of the day, and be able to respond quickly to any surges in traffic was absolutely critical. The first time that the president addressed South Africa in a family meeting, we suddenly were inundated again with people joining the service. We needed to be able to respond really, really quickly, and that would not have been possible without the cloud.
Absolutely fantastic. And what a great application. Yeah, I suspect in many ways you've saved many lives, in South Africa and around the world. So just fantastic. So congrats, and thrilled to have you as winners. Right, next we're going to move across to May. Right, now let's talk to May from Graphico. May, tell us about your business and this idea that won you the competition.
Hi, thanks, Wayne. I'm May. I'm from a company called Graphico. We are a digital twin service provider that offers visualization for cities to make better decisions. Actually, how it all started is because of COVID. I'll share a little bit of our journey. We're actually a startup company. The company started in February 2019. In March, we received a grant from the Singapore government for a call for innovative solutions for property management and property development companies. Then in November, we went with Singapore Smart Nation to Barcelona, where we were spotted by OIER, Organization for International Economic Relations. And that is where we signed as a partner for United for Smart Sustainable Cities program, February of 2020. So within 1 year, we were very hyped up about being into property development, property organizations and all that. And then in March, boom, COVID hit all of us. We had to change, and property just went. So what happened then is we had to relook at what we were supposed to do. And thankfully for us, a city in Philippines, they requested for help. So a city in Philippines, Kawayan City, they are usually hit by typhoons about 7 to 9 times a year. So the request came because they asked whether we could help them to do disaster mitigation for their city. So we decided that we will part with part of our business. We will teach them how to fly the drone in a certain way so that they can capture the photographs for us to convert it into a digital twin of their city. And once we have done that, we picked up the photographs from the cloud, run through a processing, and voila, they have a city digitally at their fingertips. So this is very beneficial for them in a way, because they are then managed to measure the river banks, the house that are near the city that gets flooded, and basically it just changed our business.
Oh, that's I love the way that, I often see startups being able to kind of pivot quickly, but I mean, that's amazing, So in business for just a year, COVID hits, and then you have to pivot, and then you kind of identify a new application, and you're able to deliver that kind of effectively within 1 year. Absolutely fantastic. And also, yeah, it sounds like you being able to let the city kind of fly the drones, capture the imagery. It sounds like you've also made the business more scalable. You could now do this with many countries around the world.
So that's the best part that happened to us. The best part that happened to us is us giving away part of our business. So because we thought that we would be the ones to fly the drone, there's a certain IP to us in flying the drone, a certain way, a certain angle, so that we are able to then capture that information to make it into a model of a city. But we had to sort of cut off our arm and give that portion away, and that became the best thing that happened to us over COVID. Because from there, we also taught the city how to fly. So they managed to increase their own skills. There will be more jobs for the people in terms of new and innovative solutions. And it's just a normal hobby drone that we use. So now they're able to fly anytime that they want. And then they just upload the information, the photos to the cloud. We picked it up and we process it. That's all.
That's amazing. What a scalable solution. Fantastic. And I mean, so once the photos kind of come into the cloud, I assume you then use some of the AWS services like AI and some of our kind of analytics tools to be able to process those images, and then you create an actual digital twin of the city itself.
Yes, correct. So the first part is to create the digital twin of the city, and then unfortunately for Kawayan City, typhoon actually hit them in November. Typhoon Ulysses. It was very bad, and about 60% of their city were flooded. So from after the flood in January, they retook the photos again. So now Kawayan would have a photo album of the before and then now the after. So from there, we will use the AWS AI features and machine learning features to recognize the changes in photos over time. So that's the next step. That's what we are going to do. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I assume long term, then they'll be able to probably start kind of predicting that maybe if they understand what typhoon's kind of coming towards them, what direction it's coming from, they'd be able to look at the digital twin and simulate out the potential impact and whether they evacuate people or kind of whatever they do.
Correct. So it would be good if we can listen to the mayor himself, because the mayor himself has a little video that he would like to share with everybody about Kawayan City. They're actually a very small agricultural city, about 150,000 people, but they are one of the first smartest cities in the whole Philippines.
Mabuhay and greetings from Kawayan City, Isabela, Philippines. This is Bernard Faustino D, the City Mayor. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for including us in the Amazon Web Services Summit. Please allow me to introduce and share with you our humble city, Kawayan City. Kawayan City is located at the northern part of the Philippines, about 150,000 in population, poorest city in terms of income in a highly agricultural setting. And it is in those characteristics that we take pride on how a small, poor, and agricultural city was able to evolve as the Philippines' first smarter city. These projects have opened opportunities for Kawayan City to build partnerships with different international organizations and stakeholders, the most significant of which are the Smart Cities Council and the Smart Cities Network. Through its ever-supportive and hard-working chairman, Mr. Kok Chin Tai. And it is through this partnership that we were able to find the right people in the representation of Graphico, through its CEO, SeokMei, who could help us address one of the major challenges we are facing, disaster mitigation and risk management. There came the onslaught of Typhoon Ulysses at the last quarter of 2020, where we experienced that kind of severe floods that we never had for 2 decades. Half of our city was submerged in water, affecting 34 communities and displaced 8,588 families, composed of 34,053 individuals. It has left damage with a total worth of 530 million pesos, or approximately $10 million, in agriculture, infrastructure, livestock, bridges, roads, and school facilities. This is the situation we are facing now, and we are grateful for the partnership with Graphico, who have helped us in the creation of the integrated digital twin. This is the first project ever done in the Philippines using a 3D map to help us mitigate the effects of climate change using data analytics and artificial intelligence. For disaster mitigation, what you see now is the stretch of the Cagayan River, the longest river in the Philippines, which is also one of the causes of flood in Cawayan City. Whenever it rains hard, the water immediately rises in this area. So with the Digital Twin project, we are able to measure the flood level, its height, distance, and angle as early warning system, so we will be prompted if there is a need to ask people to evacuate even before the flood happens. We have high hopes that once this integrated digital twin project has been fully implemented and institutionalized, we will not only be saving lives, but most importantly, improve the quality of life of our citizens. I hope we were able to inspire you with this humble experience of Cawayan City, that smart cities are not exclusive for highly urbanized or metropolitan cities. If it can be done in a small, poor in terms of income, and highly agricultural city like Cawayan City, then there's no reason for other cities not to do it. Again, thank you very much and good day to all.
That's fantastic. What a great story. And similar to to Precalt, your application will very almost definitely in the coming years save lives.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. So when we started the organization, I wanted a technology that not just a technology per se. I want a technology and a company with a heart. So I want a company that is able to help people. So that was the intention anyway. So it worked out for the best. So COVID actually was good for us.
I love that. And I hear that a lot, of companies talking about kind of, how these kind of times of adversity have fast-tracked their adoption of technologies and caused them to kind of change. So, I think we'll look back at these times with kind of interest in seeing how it's actually affected and maybe sped up adoption of technologies. But May, thank you for sharing that with us today. Yeah, so thanks and congrats to all the winners and participants. These organizations really went above and beyond to innovate for their citizens and communities, and the two we heard today, actually saving lives on the ground. And thank you to Anne for joining us here today, and thanks to all the other judges who took part in making this competition a success. And finally, thank you to you for watching. And if you'd like to find out more about these winners, please visit our City on the Cloud page. And if you'd like to see other innovative and inspiring examples of how our city customers are using technology to innovate and make positive changes on the ground, please visit our City Transformation page. Thank you.